Hey guys, this is Nathan from RunDreamAchieve.com. Hope you all are having a great weekend. Today's video, we're going to be talking about what does it take, what is needed to achieve great results in your particular event. And it takes a lot more out of the individual if the higher your standards are. It's not easy to go after greatness, regardless of what it is you're trying to do, whether you're trying to run a sub 6-minute mile or you're trying to run your first marathon. Whatever it is you're trying to do, greatness takes much more emphasis on having a long-term vision, not expecting quick results, because greatness doesn't happen that quickly. Obviously, it would be wonderful to get great results a lot faster than we usually do, but oftentimes it takes several years. It can take decades to get to a point where you're in that flow state where everything, all the stars align and everything goes well in your race. Over the years, you know, in my own experience, I always relied on what was it that I was wanting to do, and how badly did I want to get that particular result. You know, when I was competing, pretty much all I did was visualize success, visualize what I wanted to do. The mental training aspect of our preparation for our races is a big piece of the puzzle, and oftentimes athletes miss this. We're so focused on training physically and doing the anaerobic training and getting out on the roads and doing those tempo runs and doing those hill repetitions, doing the track work. Those are all vital. There's no question about it. You have to train anaerobically to be able to sustain race pace for long periods of time. And so greatness involves much more emphasis on having a belief in delayed gratification and knowing that the differences between average, good, and great are light years apart. Greatness will require much more than just being interested in doing better in your particular event. You've got to be white hot, razor sharp focused to achieve greatness in our sport. And the faster you're trying to run, obviously the more that's going to be required out of you. Normalcy surrounds us all, and to achieve greatness, regardless if it's running or if it's business or if you're trying to get rid of debt or doing something out of the ordinary, something that's spectacular, something awesome, something great. You have to have that. You have to have that desire and that motivation to put in the work, to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. And I think there's a big difference between, I think everybody can achieve greatness. I do. I think that especially in our sport, if you're training for a middle to long distance event, anybody can achieve greatness. But that being said, you have to have a strong motivation and desire to succeed. It has to, sometimes it has to like consume you. You have to think about wanting to do more than just the average. And like I said, to achieve greatness, it requires much more hard work, dedication, patience on the part of the athlete. Like I said, and I've said this in other videos, it took me from 1992 when I first started running all the way to 2007 to break a 2-hour and 20-minute marathon. And for a lot of athletes around the world, a sub 220 marathon is respected regardless if the athlete is a world-class athlete running under 210 or under 205. Any athlete around the world would have to put in some form of effort to run a 219 marathon, even if they're down to 201, you know, the world record at 201. But that being said, it took several years. It took me over a decade to run that fast. So to achieve greatness, and what you need to be thinking about is continue to visualize what it is you want. What are you trying to do? And make sure that you're reminding yourself of that goal on a regular basis, because you're going to have times where you want to quit, where you just do not want to go on, where maybe you're not having the best races or the best workouts, and you're starting to second guess yourself and wondering, well, maybe my best years are behind me. And that's oftentimes not the case. You know, there's a lot of times where you just need to make some adjustments in how you're training. Perhaps you need to get a blood test to see if you're running low on something. I stress this a lot because I was diagnosed with anemia back in 2007 when I was found that I had extremely low levels of iron levels in my body, in my bloodstream. And that a lot of times it's just a matter of changing up your diet and making sure you're taking in more iron, more leafy green vegetables and meats and things that contain different assortments of nuts, things that contain iron, and then and being able to make those changes so that you can start performing at the level that you are capable of. And unless you know those things, it's difficult because you think it's either you're not running quick enough in training, or you're too old, or maybe it's something psychological, and it could be possibly a combination of those things. But if it's something physiological, something that where you need to get tested to find out what it is that's going wrong, that's a big indicator, and will really help you out in terms of getting you from competing and racing at an average or good level to a great level, up to your standards and up to what you're capable of doing. And so I think the question of what is really needed to achieve greatness, yes, you do have to achieve greatness in anything you do. You can't just rely on your talent. I think that, and I've mentioned this in other videos, I didn't have a lot of talent either. What I had a great deal of was work ethic, and what I wanted to do, I was razor sharp focused, zeroed in on. And you got to stick to it long enough so that you get the results that you want. And don't quit when you deal with setbacks. They're going to come. You're going to have ebbs and flows in training. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have times where you just do not want to do it anymore. And you don't learn so much in the successes. You learn most about what you're capable of and what you're all about when you're tested and when things aren't going right. And I promise you, when you do succeed and you get in that flow state, and when you just, because you've been so tenacious and you haven't given up, when you get to that perfect golden moment when everything goes right, you're gonna, all those hard times and those times where you wanted to quit and you wanted to give up will quickly fade away. You'll still remember them, but I think it's very important too that you don't let up when you're this close to greatness. Okay, so I really think it's important I think too many people give up too soon when they were so close to getting the job done. And I know, thinking back to my experience as an athlete, I know those times when I was running 250s, I ran 3:04. It was my slowest marathon ever. I ran 230s, 226 was my second fastest. I ran several 230s, 240s, 250s, and the goal was always to break 2 hours and 22 minutes. Back in 2008, it was Olympic Trials, USA Track and Field Olympic Trials B standard time. So, in a time I needed to be an official member of the U.S. Army World Class Athlete Program. So for me personally, 2 hours and 22 minutes was the goal. But I know if I would have given up in those times when I ran 250s or 240s, whatever, I would have never ran 2:19:35. So you have to stay tenacious. You have to stay driven and motivated regardless of what's going on, and have that long-term vision, because greatness does not come quickly. You will not achieve greatness in a matter of weeks or months. Greatness usually comes after several years of hard, enduring, monotonous hard work. And to achieve greatness, it's like I said, you're gonna be asking the most out of yourself. Anybody that achieves a greatness in anything that they do has had to have persistence, and they've had to have that desire and motivation to continue to go on no matter what, when the other people around them have given up, gotten tired, or made an excuse of why it didn't happen, or whatever reason they made their excuses. And again, the people that achieve greatness, they study the sport, they study what they're trying to do, and they zero in on that, and they will not let up until they get what they want. So that's my answer in terms of what is needed. What is needed to achieve great results. It's a big part of it is mindset. It's in terms of middle to long distance running, wherever you are right now, If you have a crazy goal in mind, don't think it's impossible. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality or imagination. So the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference that you're a 45-minute 10K athlete and you want to run under 32 minutes for the 10 kilometers race, or you're a 5-hour marathoner and you want to run under 3 hours. These are massive jumps in performances, but you have to train hard, you have to train long enough, but you also have to visualize success and mentally train too, because you're training your subconscious mind to guide you to what you want to do. So I really think those are some important things to keep in mind. That's kind of my viewpoint and my overview of what I think it is, what's really needed to achieve greatness in middle to long distance running, or whatever you do. I'm real big into business and entrepreneurship as well. And when you know that the 78% of the working population is living paycheck to paycheck, there is normalcy, and then there's thinking outside the box. What do I need to do to get rid of this debt? What do I need to do to stop living paycheck to paycheck? What do I need to do to create some additional streams of income? You got to think differently and achieve greatness. Greatness is about thinking outside the box, coloring outside the lines, not just following the status quo. So that's my answer. I hope you guys all have a great week of training. Feel free to leave me a comment below this video. Definitely reach out. I love hearing from you guys, so definitely continue to leave comments. If you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so when I make a new video, you'll be notified of it. And if there's anything else I can help you all out with, please feel free to leave me a comment. If there's a specific topic or something you want me to cover in my next video, I will definitely do that. So you all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.